We have been trying to bring this to the company for a couple of years now, but of course we went through a merger, we went through some growth, we went through some housekeeping, and now is the perfect time to bring it to market for us and for your clients. We're really excited about this program because it fits right into that Forever Concierge and the Forever Agent program of BHHS. In fact, LiveEasy is a really big partner of BHHS. They are what we consider a reflex partner as well. So they have lots of privileges that we give to those exceptional vendors when they bring this kind of stuff to market. It is going to tie in fabulously with everything that we've been doing this year about making sure that you are bringing as much value to your clients. When you're talking about your value proposition, I know that class is getting ready to come up again in our training department. These are the kind of things that bring value to you and bring value to your clients as far as using you for the entire life cycle of their home ownership journey. So this can go from anybody who is just starting out, maybe they're a renter getting ready to go into their first home, maybe they are people who have been in their home for a long time. These are people who are actively moving. This program can be used for anything in any area of that real estate journey. And you're actually going to see some of that in these slides as well. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce Katie from LiveEasy. She's going to take us through this program today, give us this introduction to the program and show you how it works. And then again, we'll take questions and we can kind of fill in the gaps a little bit as we go as well. So take it away, Katie.
Fabulous. Thank you, Kristen. You pretty much did it. I don't think I need to do anything else. You already got the value out here, no, but thank you all for joining me this morning. My name is Katie Shabali. I am the Director of Customer Success at LiveEasy, which powers our Towne VIP Concierge. So Kristen mentioned that we are a preferred partner of Berkshire Hathaway. You'll probably hear us as Forever Concierge, but we did white label it for you all so that you can really stand out and differentiate yourself. With that in mind, today we're just going to do a brief overview. So really, what is it and why do I care? So as an agent, we've got a lot of things happening right now, which it sounds like you guys are getting a ton of support, which is fabulous. And so it's really digging into certain technology tools that your brokerage is providing just to really help you set yourself apart. So we're going to just talk about what it is. As Kristen mentioned, we have a couple of different journeys, I like to say. So we've got the home management platform. So anybody and everybody with a roof over their home. And then we've got a moving side. So if you've got folks in an active transaction, we will be able to assist your clients during that time. And I'm going to talk to you about what that looks like. And then, of course, how we support you. So we've got a lot of different tools and marketing assets. I'm working really, really closely with the leadership team at Berkshire Hathaway RW Towne so that we can make sure this is a really easy, seamless tool for you to use and not another one where you're having to, dig really deep into it. What you're going to learn today is less about the clickety clicks, though we're going to do that in a couple weeks. We're going to do some deep dives. This is really about understanding how it can help me as an agent, how it can help my clients, and really in that repeat and referral side of things. And then, of course, we'll do questions, but again, we'll pause at any given time. I've got Tom Jordan on here who's joining me from my side. So he's going to take a look at the chat and make sure that we're helping everybody understand what's happening today. All right, so with that being said, what is our Towne VIP Concierge? So again, it's really for anybody and everybody in a home. So we like to say it's really the first country's full service home management, but really client engagement platform. So it's really something that we're just helping folks who are homeowners. Again, if they're the first time homeowners, if they've been in their home for decades, or they're a renter trying to transition to a homeowner, we're really able to help them during that entire process, and including that buying and selling side of it. Is really trying to help you ultimately stay top of mind. We know how difficult it can be. We're all the CEO of our own business, trying to make sure that we're getting that next transaction so we can pay our mortgage payment, right? And so how do we make sure that we're connected with anybody we've worked with in the past really stand out from our competition and build those meaningful relationships. Why? Because we really want to be able to have that repeat and referral business so that we can continue to move forward. So it doesn't matter what the landscape of the market is, we know that we're going to be able to really keep that steady business no matter what. So that is essentially what it is. So anybody in that, I like to say, living journey period, whether you're actively buying or selling. I'm a visual person though. All right. So I like to always kind of throw up this visual so that we can talk about what that looks like. And then I'm going to dive deeper into each aspect of it. So we've got that real estate transaction, right? So we're working with somebody to buy or sell a home. And we know there's a lot that takes place during that time, right? We've got the pre-approval we have to go through. We've got to, once we kind of get rocking and rolling, that home insurance, title, home warranty. There's just so many layers of a real estate transaction that we need to help our clients through, especially those folks that are doing this for the first time. The great part about this program is that we have all of the RW Towne ancillary services added to the platform, so your clients will already have access to that. We all know the more in-house we can keep the transaction, the easier it is to the closing table, right? So we're helping the clients during that process. And then there's that mutual agreement, right? We find our home, we're excited, we mutually agree upon it. And that's where things get really, really busy. Who here, and I know we turned off cameras, so go ahead and throw it in the chat. Who here loves moving? It's a blast, right? I know Kristen does. We've gone through that a few times, right? It's a blast. No, it's not. It is so much work. And so think about your clients who are already likely stressed out for that during that real estate transaction. A lot of paperwork, a lot of moving parts. And then when things actually go under contract, we're sitting here like, whoa, there's so much more to do during that time. That's where our concierge comes in. So we're able to help your clients set up a bunch of different services. So think about utilities, right? Internet, cable, moving services, home security, solar, you name it. Our personal concierge team can help your clients do that so that you can continue to focus on your business. And so really helping you stand apart there. Then the clients get into their home, right? Everything closes, we're all good to go, paperwork signed, and we're here and we start looking at our walls and realize the paint doesn't match the decor, or the fun stuff like there's a flood in the basement because pipes are leaking now, things like that. That's where that home management side really becomes powerful. And so you as agents can actually add your trusted professionals. So if you have certain vendors you love to work with, you can add them to the platform and give your clients access for life. Meanwhile, there's also a document management system so clients can actually upload, let's say, their home warranty, or if they do any updates on their house, they can upload those documents in their own secure platform so that ultimately when they're ready to sell again, now it's a lot easier to understand what's been done versus going, in your little box underneath the bed that's full of dust and receipts from a long time ago. So keeping things organized. And then we also have deals and discounts. I'm going to talk more about that. But ultimately, the goal is really to provide value in between the transaction so they remember your name. We all know the fun NAR stats that go out where, 89% of folks say, yeah, I'll work with my real estate agent again, and only 12% actually do, right? So we want to help you really increase your opportunity to work with them so they remember who you are in between time. So with that being said, why do I care? As an agent, why do I care about RW Towne VIP Concierge? Well, first and foremost, helping you stay front and center. So what you're going to see is that it is a branded site for your clients. So all branded to you. So your headshots there, your contact information's there. You are a solutionist in that process of their living journey. And so everything drives them back to you so that ultimately you get to be the expert. You get to showcase what you know the market to be. We're able to help your clients have a white glove personalized service. We know how important your brand is to your business. I always like to say every contact in your database has dollar signs attached to it, right? It could be a direct transaction, it could be a referral, but they're so incredibly important to your livelihood. And we know at any given time, if something goes bad, either during the transaction or post, that's it, right? That's your brand, that's your recognition. And so we really want to be that brand extension. So again, you can focus on your business. Meanwhile, we're helping you look like a rock star when it's all said and done. We have a client follow-up program. What I like to say about this is it's really value add. So I know a lot of folks in the real estate business tend to send a lot of the, pumpkin spice latte type emails or Happy New Year, which is great. Those are fine. But what is it doing for your client, right? How are we getting them back in to start thinking about me when they think about their home? A lot of times with those type of marketing pushes, what will happen is you might see your clients engage for the first couple, and then all of a sudden either they're not engaging at all or they've unsubscribed. So that client follow-up program is really helping them lean into you, getting them excited about what's happening and getting them into the platform that's branded to you. Again, ultimately, we want them to connect with you so you can showcase your expertise. But the idea is that we're just keeping you top of mind in between transactions. And then I did talk about the savings and value every day. So we actually have exclusive discounts and savings that change throughout the year. I like to say, and you're welcome to write this down, with my brand, you get exclusive savings and discounts for life, right? So it's really helping them, again, get back to the things that you are providing so that ultimately they work for you, work with you again in the future. So think of things like Chewy boxes, Home Depot if it's in the area, wine boxes, butcher boxes. So things outside of the home, but just really providing value that consumers are looking for. And then ultimately differentiating yourself. So, there's the big elephant in the room, right? The NAR settlement. It's a blast as a real estate agent. I know it's not. It's very stressful. The media is really tainting the image of the industry. So it's really about taking a step back, going back to real estate 101, and really understanding what I as a real estate agent do and provide, and then being able to articulate it. And so utilizing different platforms and technology that your brokerage provides to really make sure that everybody who works with you understands what you bring to the table, not just somebody who opens up the door, right? I'm really helping during that entire process of your buying or selling journey for that matter, but ultimately helping your clients understand that. So with that in mind, what I really want you to start thinking about is, what are the things that I do to create lifetime value? How do I engage with my sphere? And as I walk through the home management journey first, I want you to start thinking about, what can I talk about? What are the things that make sense to me? What are the things that are going to make sense to my clients? And so you don't have to take on everything. There's going to be a good amount of information, but what I really challenge you to do today is find one or two things that you see of value that you start being able to articulate as you're going and working with your clients. As Kristen said, we are going to do a deep dive in a couple weeks, and I've got a ton of talk tracks, which is great, giving you that starting point. But ultimately, I really want you to start thinking about, okay, what will my clients see of value? And then figure out, how am I going to talk about that? So with that being said, I know a lot of folks in a lot of agents in the real estate space are doing things to engage with their sphere, right? So in talking with people, I'm hearing about newsletters, e-cards, sometimes videos, pop buys, different things like that. So the good news is, you can continue to do all of those things. You don't have to change what you're doing. Now it's, how do I add RW Towne VIP concierge to what I'm already doing? How do I enhance what I'm already doing so that ultimately I look like I am that person that anybody and everybody should want to work with? Okay, so again, start thinking about what that looks like with what you're currently doing. All right, so I like to, again, talk about that journey. So this is going to be that home management side. All right. So anybody and everybody in a home can utilize this platform, but you all actually have your own branded URL, so you can use it for prospecting, lead gen. I know that can be a pretty expensive way of life in the real estate world. You're spending lots of money on lead gen. Well, this is a complimentary, a free service for you to use and your clients. So you can literally use it for all of those prospecting side of things. But then really your sphere of influence, and that's the part I want you to think about, is how do I go and re-engage with my sphere? How do I be that forever agent to anybody in my database and my client base? So again, I'm the one that they choose in the future. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show a very brief video of the client facing side. So this is what your clients are going to see. It's going to be branded to Berkshire Hathaway RW Towne, right? So, and then obviously all of your information there. And what I'm going to do after is I'm going to break it down into 3 really critical sections that I believe are really powerful when it comes down to it. But again, this is what your clients will actually see. All right, so first they're going to have access to a home valuation that is integrated with your home valuation provider, Percy. You see some of those exclusive deals. So this is where we have that integration. The equity breakdown, what can I do with it? Property tax information, refinancing, probably not right now, but in the future maybe. What if I wanted to invest in a new place? Could be a vacation home. How do I increase the value of my place? Imagine having a concierge team to do annual savings reviews, not staying on hold with Xfinity all year or all weekend long. Your clients will be able to access that energy savings. Solar, we have solar experts. These are where your pros can be added so that your clients will have access to them. And then this is that client follow-up program. So very value add, very focused on being able to speak with the expert. So you'll notice that it's driving them ultimately back to you. All right, so we talked about breaking it down into 3, in my opinion, really powerful value adds. So the first one is that blueprint for building wealth. You guys have a very, very powerful position as a real estate agent. You're helping folks really build wealth for life, for generations to come. And so with that in mind, you're giving your clients quarterly insights into that home valuation, equity, and home finances. Now, again, we are integrated with Percy, so there's that consistency across the board. But ultimately, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get them to come back to you, right? We're trying to pique their interest, and even down to that doesn't make sense. My neighbor's house sold for $500,000 and mine says 350. You're right, because we all know what valuations are, right? They're an algorithm, they're 90 days behind, they can't step into the home and really understand what's happened. So ultimately, we're trying to get that client to reach out to you so that you can provide them with the CMA and really let them know how's the market. I'm a neighborhood expert. I know what's happening. Is it time for you to sell that place? And then, of course, that equity component. So what can I do with it, right? So the education. So now you're not just a real estate agent, if you will. You are a trusted advisor. You're helping them build wealth, but understand one of their largest assets that they've likely invested in. And then there's those timely alerts. Should there be rate drops or property tax increases? Again, making sure that you're part of that conversation. I like to say, you are the real estate expert, the source of all things real estate. So when your clients think of their home, we want them to think of you when it's all said and done. And so that's the first one. So giving that educational component and then that vendor network. This is really, really powerful, y'all. If you guys have certain folks that you love to work with, like I mentioned, so a contractor, roofer, landscaper, things like that, you can actually add them to the platform and then your clients have access to them. So when they're looking at redoing their kitchen or they're looking at updating, your clients can utilize your folks, which is fabulous. Meanwhile, if you don't have a trusted pro in a certain category, we actually have an integration with Thumbtack so that ultimately your clients will get help. Now, here's the powerful part. I know a lot of real estate agents will give their clients that nice little PDF of here's all the folks I like to work with, and here you go. But how do you know if your clients have worked with them? How do you know if they've reached out? Usually it's because something bad happened, right? It's because they didn't respond back to that inquiry or, they messed up on the roof or things like that. That's usually the only time you know about it. Well, within this platform, anytime your client reaches out to a vendor and requests services, you get notified. You as the agent get notified. What a fabulous opportunity to check in, especially if you know that, hey, they were looking at doing some updates. So now it's, hey, I remember a couple years ago when you moved in, you wanted to redo the kitchen. How's that going? I've got vendors in there. Don't forget about them. Oh, actually, funny that you mentioned that. Or let's say you start seeing certain different consistencies of the type of folks being reached out to. So again, that contractor, that roofer, that landscaper, what does that likely mean? It could be early indicators are ready to list. We all know the first agent to pick up the phone and talk with somebody is typically the agent that person goes with. So again, having insights into what's happening with your client base in between the transaction just gives you that edge upon some of those other folks. Of course, we got different timely home maintenance reminders. So throughout the year, so that's part of that client follow-up program throughout the year, just reminding them of certain things to do. Again, branded to you, getting you back into that conversation or the thought of their home. And then, of course, that impact on valuation. So how do I increase my value on my home? How do I make sure that when I am ready to list my home, I'm going to get the most out of it? So that's part of that vendor network there. And then finally, that exclusive discounts and savings. So I mentioned this before, with my brand, you get exclusive discounts and savings for life. These rotate constantly. This is just a couple of the things that we showcase throughout the year, but there's things that folks are thinking about. They're trying to save money, especially right now. It's a blast, right? Every bill is going up. So anywhere I can save money, I'm going to want to. But again, it's all branded to you. So you look like the one that's providing the solution, that's thinking about their bottom line so that ultimately they work with you again. I want to call out two really specific ones. We do have incredible deals with security and solar when it comes to that. So security up to $1,700 in free equipment. This goes straight to your clients. So we've got security experts that will help your clients during this process. Meanwhile, solar's, folks are trying to go that green energy route. We have solar experts on hand that will spend time with your clients, helping them just understand what this process is. What are some of the laws around it? What are some of the tax implications? All of that. Your clients could spend one call, 5 calls, 20 calls if they wanted to with those solar experts, but ultimately they're there to help your clients understand what this is that can help them in the long run, not pushing them to buy things, but ultimately educating them. So just some things to think about that you, again, get to provide to your clients. That follow-up program, so we talked about this a few times. This is just giving you a high-level understanding of what it is. So we do things like some newsletters. What can you do with your equity? Go find a trusted provider, a trusted professional. Go review your services, things like that. So again, it's all branded to you. So we're trying to get them into the platform to remember you when it's all said and done. So the goal is not to spam your clients, right? We don't want that because, again, we want to be your brand extension when it's all said and done. All right, so now we're in that next move. But before I get into that moving side of things, I do want to pause for just a second and make sure nobody has any questions on the home management. Otherwise, I'm going to talk about some automation during that move process so that you guys can see where the concierge really can play a powerful role in this process. You're welcome to unmute.
If you have any questions on this first section, go ahead and raise your hand or put it into chat. Any questions? We'll also take questions at the end. So if you're thinking about stuff and doodling on things, you can feel free to hold it as well. We can always go back and address something. It's fine.
Exactly. I just want to make sure I give a quick pause there. But if I don't hear anything or see anything, I don't see any hands going up. So I'm going to get into it. Again, pause me, interrupt me. I'm happy to answer those. So this is the moving side.
Katie, we do have a question in chat.
Okay.
We're actually
I
going to
didn't see it. I'm not seeing the chat question. Sorry.
We're actually going to get to that in just a second. If you can hold on to that question, we're actually going to show you how you can sign up and enroll people before we finish up. Hang on to that question real quick. It's part of the training.
Perfect. Thank you, Kristen. I'm not seeing chat, so if you can make sure that you pause me, Kristen, I'm happy to answer those. So All right, so your next move section. So in your dashboard, excuse me, that home management side, your clients can actually click on your next move. We're going to ask 2 questions. What do you want to do with your current place? Sell it or rent it? Where do you want to move to? Great, work with me. So whether they're relocating across the country or just across the street, ultimately we're trying to start it with you. So maybe you can list their home, and then you can work with somebody in your Berkshire Hathaway network for that referral side. But ultimately, again, we want to give them the opportunity to work with you. With that in mind, the moving side includes anybody who's in an active transaction. So buyers, sellers, and even renters can utilize this platform. And so with that, we actually have some automation. I know this can sound scary, but the reason we do this is actually to help you as agents not have to worry about doing a thing. And so we have what's called an integration with Dotloop. So you guys work your transactions through Dotloop. And when it goes under contract, when there's that mutual agreement, we kick off first an email to you as the agent. So we're going to send you an email. Hey, congrats on your transaction with Kristen. We're about to invite them to the platform. Now, in that invite or in that email, you can disable the invite if you need to. So you have full control. Even with this automation, you have full control over who gets the invite. If you do nothing to this invite, if you do not disable it, 48 hours later, your client gets invited to the platform. Okay, so what does that look like? One, they get an email just welcoming them to the platform. Here they can do a couple of things. Either they can proactively schedule a call with their personal concierge, or they can go ahead and just access their dashboard. And that's all, because our concierge team will actually reach out to your clients. I'm going to talk a little bit about what that looks like, but we're going to reach out to your clients so that we can help schedule that call and assist them in that move. So we talked about all the different things that we can do, setups, utilities, internet, cable, home security, all of that. That's part of that process. But I do want to talk about what the team is, right? Because this is always a concern with real estate agents, right? It is my people. I want to make sure that my clients feel like they're taken care of. This is my brand. Don't spam them, all of that type of stuff. First and foremost, we are real people, right? That's what really sets us apart, is we are real people working with your clients, understanding the importance that they are to your business. And so we have an entire concierge team that's based in Columbus, Ohio, but we also have a Spanish speaking group. We've actually expanded our dual language, which is exciting. So if you do work with folks that primarily speak Spanish, we can support them. Like I mentioned before, we're there to provide that white glove service, be your brand extension, but ultimately we want to help them set up every service that we can in their home, but ultimately beyond as well. So when they're in their actual home, that home management side, they're there for life. So your clients are not just going to have access to them one time. They can literally call them every month should they want to, right, to do savings reviews. So again, that's really important that as you're talking to your clients about what this is, they are real people looking out for their bottom line as well. The concierge does reach out. I mentioned that. And I always want to be really, really transparent with what that touch point looks like. Because again, we're not here to spam or frustrate your clients. We're here to help you look amazing. We're here to help make a seamless transition into a new home. So this is what the cadence looks like. In that perfect 30 to 45 day pending time frame, right? So we're working to get to that closing table. This is what that cadence looks like. The first 72 hours tend to be the most successful for us to connect with your client. Why? Because they're really eager to get things rocking and rolling when it goes under contract. And so during that first 72 hours, we are sending an email, text, and call. And you may be like, whoa, that's a lot. Why would you do that? Well, let me tell you why. The first reason is a lot of folks have emails coming in all day long, right? I'm sure, and sorry, Kristen, it might hurt your feelings, but I'm sure some of the agents don't even listen or read your emails, let alone some random, complimentary service email, right? So we know that that's the case. So that's why texting and calling is something we do as well. And why do we text and call? Because we know some folks prefer text versus others want that call, right? So we want to make sure that we understand, how does your client want to be communicated with? What is the best avenue to help them get into their home? Really cool testimonial we got in September is we actually helped a deaf couple move entirely via text. We met the clients where they're at. So that's why we try these different avenues, just to make sure that we're helping your clients. So again, those first 72 hours, we are typically the most successful, but we will reach out 7, 14, and 21 days after as well. And so the good news is, at any given time, if your client says, this is not the service for me, we stop, right? Because again, it's your brand. We want to make sure they don't feel spammed or overwhelmed. But the good news is, let's say on day 2, they got that call. They picked up and they said, nope, this is not the service for me. And then they tried to do all of these things, and they decided day 14, actually, can I use the concierge and get some help? They can reach back out and we can serve them. So again, it's really up to your clients what they want during that time. Also, really quickly, our company was founded on a really negative moving experience. So our CEO, he was moving from Michigan to Ohio. He did one of those fun online moving quotes, and we know what happens when folks do that, right? They get inundated with emails, phone calls from not just one moving company, but sometimes dozens. And so he actually went to his business partner, said, moving's terrible to begin with. Then you add the spamming and selling of my data. We have to put something together to make sure that doesn't happen. So I know that's always a huge concern, again, because it is your livelihood. So again, we are built off of the premise of not selling data, not spamming your clients, and really trying to make you look good when it's all said and done. With that being said, I like to show this page. It feels very overwhelming. This is how your clients feel. Imagine they've just gone through that transaction, or they're still working through it, quite frankly, right? They're going through all the paperwork, and now you're telling me I've got to set up moving services, insurance, internet. Oh my gosh, this is so much. Meanwhile, every single person, every single company that we have to call to, get these services set up, that's time. Right? That is a ton of time that we're on the phone. So now imagine you, as the agent, get to provide your clients with a dedicated personal concierge team to help them set up all of these services in one phone call, or multiple if they want, but really one 30-minute phone call can get them started on all of this, and again, help you look really good. The part that I love to call out is this bottom half right here. On average, you're saving your clients $450 through this service. But for me, even more powerful for that is the 4 to 5 hours. You're saving them a ton of time when it's all said and done. Again, during this really stressful time, so you look amazing when it's all said and done. And then if your clients decide to utilize those deals within the platform, up to $2,000 for life. Right? So this is really, really amazing service that can help you and your clients when it's all said and done. Again, we've got all of the different services, the ancillary services in the platform. So we're driving that back to the brokerage to make sure we're getting it to the closing table as well. All right, so guess what? What do I need to do? So that question in there, what can I do to get my clients all set up? So the first part, when it comes to that integration, the dot loop side of things, there's 3 things that are really, really important to make it successful. Okay, the first one is making sure the client data is complete and accurate. So what does that look like? That's the client's name, email address, and phone number, along with that ideal closing date. We know things can shift and move, and that's fine, but making sure that that is all within the dot loop so that we can get that information and we can understand how to help your clients. So again, we can reach out to them via email, text, and phone to see the best way to communicate. So that's number one, making sure the client data is complete and accurate. The second one is that timely status change. So when there is that mutual agreement, that mutual acceptance, and all contingencies are removed, that is when you want to ensure that you, your admin, your TC, whoever goes through that dot loop process, moves that transaction from active to pending. That's when we get the information. Now, remember, you all will get an email first. So if you have to disable it, should it be a land transaction, an investor, that one client that never wants your services, that's fine, or just the one you're just trying to get done with. There's a few of those out there as well. Again, you will have the ability to disable it. But should you not disable it, that's when you're going to want to tell your clients it's coming. I like to say, talk about it early, often, and always. So earlier in the presentation, we talked about your value proposition, right? Differentiating yourself, using this to stand apart from the competition. So if you're using it at, let's say, an open house, you're talking about it then you win a client over at a listing presentation, which you're talking about this service, my concierge team, they're going to be ready for it, right? They're going to be ready for when it goes under contract, because now you're going to remind them for the third time, hey, remember that service I talked about, it's coming. So then they're ready to go. They're going to know that call or text or email is coming, and they're going to be prepared for it. So the three things that are really important, that client data, the timely status change, and tell your clients about it. But how can you get started today? The first one is you guys will be able to access your agent dashboard. I'm going to show you what that looks like here in a second. Kristen, where will they be able to access that? We will send a welcome email as well. But is that on your intranet?
It is. So we will be activating the button on RWT Connect right after this class, and then you'll be able to go ahead and click it. It is a single sign-on. We've talked about SSOs before. It's going to take you right on into your dashboard for LiveEasy, and then you'll be able to go ahead and complete that onboarding process. We've brought in as much information as we can from our roster sync, but there will be some information you'll want to go ahead and confirm and make sure that you have, correct and the way you want it and everything that's going to be going out from the system.
Perfect. Thanks, Kristen. So again, after today's session, you will be able to access it. I'm going to show you what that looks like. And in there, like Kristen mentioned, we brought over all of that information, but you can still confirm it. Make sure your headshot's up to date, your phone number is up to date. All of that good stuff is there because, again, it's all branded to you. So we want to make sure you're looking amazing in that platform. The second one, which again, in a couple weeks, we will also do a workshop. Should you need some extra help there, is you can upload your vendors, right? So you can add them, and I'm going to show you how to do this one by one, or you can upload them in mass, or you can just ship them to our team, help@moveeasy.com, and we will assist that. Here's one little tip, though, that I always have when it comes to vendors. Make sure that they know you're doing this, right? So I would use this as an opportunity to reach out. So check in. One, are you still in business, right? Number two, can you prioritize my people? I am about to give you access, or my people access to you. Are you able to prioritize them? Give them some discount savings. Just give them that stellar service that I do. And if not, I'm not going to add you, but also making sure that they understand at any given time, if you hear of a negative experience, you're just going to remove them, right? So just building that community, if you will, that relationship. And then of course, hey, if you know anybody ready to buy or sell, I'm still in business, right? But again, you'll have the ability to add vendors, and then you can invite your sphere. So part of that home management side, again, you can invite your entire sphere. Very easy. You can do it a couple ways. You can export your list from your CRM. So wherever all of your contacts live, you can just export it, ship it to us. You can do it one by one. If you've got, if you follow kind of that Ninja Buffini type of sales methodology, so you're already calling out 5 a day, that's a great opportunity to reach out to them, hey, I'm about to invite you to my RW Towne VIP concierge. You're going to have access to a home management dashboard. You're going to see a few things I'm going to call out. You're going to see evaluation. I promise you it's wrong. Call me if you want the real one. You're going to see exclusive discounts and savings and all of my trusted pros. Again, we're going to give you some scripting so that you guys can be able to add that into your conversation. But it's just a great opportunity to connect with your folks, whether you worked with them a few months ago or decades ago, you'll be able to do that. And then again, you have your own unique URL, so you can use it anywhere a URL can go. Your email signature, if you got marketing pieces, you can now add it there. If you wanted to create a QR code, again, we'll talk about some of these things in a couple of weeks, but you could create a QR code, add it to all your marketing pieces. I've got a couple of visuals I'm going to show you in a few, but this is where you get to be really creative in how you utilize this platform in what you already do today. So your dashboard's going to look like this. I'm going to get in here in just a second, but it's not as pretty. I'm going to tell you this, it's not as pretty as your clients. And there's a reason for that, because we want to make it really easy for you. But really quickly, as we talk about the URL, think of these fun little things that we can do here. So again, enhancing what you're already doing on this front. But let's go ahead and hop into your agent dashboard. Questions before I do that though? I don't see any questions in the chat, so I just want to make sure. Awesome.
No questions so far.
Perfect. All right. So again, you guys will have access to your agent dashboard shortly after this training. And so we talked about a few things you can do. I'm a former teacher and a mom, so you're going to get a couple homework assignments if you want. The first one, though, is when you get in here, when you scroll to the left, you'll see accounts. If you click on that, this is where you'll be able to update your information should you need to. So this profile, if I click edit, here's where I can make sure that my contact information is correct, my phone number, and then of course my headshot. Very simple. So if you need to update those, if they're not quite what you'd want them to be, you can do that really quickly. So that's number one. Confirm your profile, make sure everything's ready to go. The second one we talked about is adding those vendors, right? So again, there's two ways you can do it. If I click add vendor, I can do this one by one. So if I want to go and reach out to maybe 5 vendors a day, hey, are you still in business? Can you prioritize my people? All of that. You can do it this way. So vendor name, URL, contact name, email, phone number, all of that, right? Then of course the vendor type. So we've got 150 different categories, 200, I think, actually, different categories. So a ton of different categories. So you're going to want to make sure they go under the right one. And then do they service specific counties? So you guys can add that to make sure that your clients will be able to access that. Then you click add vendor. That's it. But if you go, Katie, I have hundreds of vendors, that's going to take me way too long. I'm not in the mood to do that. There's two ways you can do it. The first one is click add multiple vendors, and you can upload your CSV file. So just a very quick template that has all that information in there. Or if you just already have that little one pager that you already give to your clients, send it to help@moveeasy.com and we'll do it for you. So again, this is not one of those platforms where we want you to be working day in and day out to, make sure it works for your business. Really, we want you to focus on your business and use this to enhance it. So again, utilize our team as much as you can. All right, so that was number 2, add your vendors. All right, number 3 was invite your sphere. So you've got 2 ways you can do this. You can upload your entire sphere of influence. So I talked about taking it out of your CRM, so exporting it out and uploading it here, or again, sending it to our team. But should you want to do it, again, like 5 at a time, things like that, if you click on invite moving client, there's actually this sphere of influence one where you can invite them one by one and even send a special message to them. So all you need is their first name, last name, email. That's it. Right? If you know where they're currently living or approximately, you can do that. The good news is when your client gets invited, they'll be able to update that information. So you don't have to know everything. So this is number 3. So invite your entire sphere of influence. And then that extra credit, number 4, that URL. So every single one of you are going to have a unique URL. Mine's ugly because it's a demo account, but typically it's your first name dash last name .rwtownvip.com. This can go anywhere a URL can go. So again, your email signature, all of that. And what does this look like? Well, when your clients are to sign up, they are to click on that URL. It's a landing page, again, branded to you as the agent. Okay, so here they can click get started, set up their account, let us know if they're currently moving or just in their home, and then they'll get access to that client facing one that we saw earlier. So again, a great lead gen prospecting tool that is completely complimentary to you all. Super easy. That's it. That's your agent dashboard. Couldn't be any easier than that. Now, once you guys start having folks invited, so whether they're in a transaction or you've invited them to your sphere of influence, you are going to see some data here, all of your clients' contact information. So you're going to see their name. Are they a buyer or seller? When were they invited on? Did they even sign up? When's their approximate move date? And then you'll be able to actually see their concierge. So I like to say your clients will have a dedicated concierge team lead, right? So you're going to actually see who that is. So if you needed to reach out to them, you could. And then if they actually had an appointment with them, you'll also be able to send out their password should they need to get access to it. But here's the great part about it. If your client is working with a concierge and they decide, because remember, we're real humans, which is great. If they decide to go on vacation or attend their kids' recital or things like that, there's an entire team that can help your client. So your client doesn't have to wait for them to get back. They can request other folks to help them. So again, this is your agent dashboard. Questions here before I just show you a couple ways we support you, and then we will hopefully see most of you in a couple weeks. All right. Now remember, it's 7 a.m. for me. So y'all have like 3 hours on me. So hopefully this means I'm answering questions and not making y'all sleep. We'll find out, I guess, later. But anyways, how do we support you? All right. So did anybody know that it is National Home Ownership Month? Guess what? We're celebrating it here too. So if you have enjoyed listening to me, I will be actually hosting along with one of our senior customer success managers on Thursday. So I'll send that to Kristen to make sure you guys have it. There's that QR code as well. But on Thursday, it's a quick 30-minute webinar, and it's really about how do I use this during home ownership month to actually engage with my sphere. So during this time, we will also be doing some raffles. So we're finishing up week 1 raffle. So that is if you invite 5 people, you can get entered into it. Week 2 is going to be adding your entire SOI. So if you guys need help, let me know. I'm happy to help you there, and you'll be automatically entered into it. Week 3 is if you have at least 50 in there. So that's next week, 200. And then week 4 is the agent with the most clients added to the home management gets a large little gift card so that you can use those for closing gifts or whatever you want, graduation gifts, but it's all up to you. But again, this is really about how do I engage with my folks? How do I talk about it? Things like that. So again, here's that monthly webinar on there. Now, here's the nice part is every month we're doing something that really hopefully focuses on the things that you likely are. And so we will be sending all of those over to the team so that you guys can sign up for them throughout the year. We will also be sending out some emails. So you may start seeing that coming from the LiveEasy team to invite you to these webinars on, again, it's monthly. They're short and sweet, very business focused. We did a couple on how to use it at open houses, which I'll send the recordings to you all. How do I use it at a listing presentation, buyer presentation, things like that. And then finally, we are doing, you guys just made it in the nick of time. And we're looking to do it for the rest of the year as well. But something that's the heart of our company is really giving back to those 501c3 charities. So if your clients actually schedule an appointment for security or solar, they'll get entered into this. And then or you get entered, excuse me, into this. And then if there's an install, you get multiple entries into this. So at the end of June, or actually the beginning of July, we're going to actually do a drawing. And so anybody who gets drawn for this will actually get some money towards the charity of your choice. So something fun to do. Again, we're being able to give back to folks and helping your clients save money when we're all said and done. Finally, there's going to be marketing materials. So I know Kristen's been working on some of these pieces, and we'll make sure you guys always have them. You'll notice on these one, it's Forever Concierge. That's the Berkshire Hathaway side, but you guys are RW Towne VIP. But we've got a fun variety of different pieces, social media, listing presentations, little one-pagers about all the services that we provide for your clients. You name it, we've got it. Again, we're not trying to make this feel like, oh my gosh, another tool in my toolbox that's going to take up a ton of time. No, we want you to be like, okay, yep, I know how I'm going to use this. I know how I'm going to talk about it. Give me those resources so I can start promoting it and win more business. I'll leave you with one question to think about, and then I'll let you guys, I'll open it up to more questions. But if this could win you 1, 2, or 3 more transactions a year, would you use it? I'm hoping the answer is yes, but I'm hoping. Kristen, any questions that you see? Again, if you guys want to raise your hand, unmute. I'm happy. We got 8 minutes. So I'm here to support you all during this launch.
We are getting lots of yeses in the chat. I think everybody's really excited about this. So
awesome.
Just to give you guys a quick update. So we do have all of these marketing materials and things like that. You will be getting a series of emails that just kind of give you all of these little tips and tricks. There is an entire series of talking points just so you guys can start to get your scripting down, and you can speak about this and the value proposition that comes with this, and certainly add this to all of your marketing as well. So take a look for that over the next 2 weeks before that class on the 24th. Just a reminder, that class on the 24th is not a repeat. It's an extension of this. We're actually going to be doing more best practices, tips and tricks, really taking a deep dive to get you started in here. But that button will activate a little after 11 is when it's scheduled to go up, and you guys can go ahead and click on through and kind of get started and poke around. Just a reminder, Katie, can you give us that help desk email for you guys again?
I would love to. So it is help@moveeasy.com. help@moveeasy.com. And really quickly, I'm sure y'all are like, wait, Move Easy. So just to let you know, we changed from Move Easy to Live Easy, and now you can see why, because it's more of that living component. But to change all of our marketing and domains, I know you guys are like, what's domains, all of that, but there's a lot to it. So that's why. So if you hear Move Easy, think of Live Easy VIP, RW Towne VIP Concierge. If you hear even Forever Concierge, right? We're all one and the same. So my company, Live Easy, formerly Move Easy, powers this system to really help you all.
So one of the best practices we've seen come out of other companies in the BHHS network who have already launched this and are already using it is to definitely go ahead and add this to your navigation menu on your site builder websites. So you should be able to take that unique URL. We can pop that link up into your navigation bar, and you can start to increase the traffic even on your own website by telling people they can go to whatever your domain is and go ahead and click that button for the RW Towne VIP that is in your navigation menu, and you can get people to sign up there as well, outside of the emails and outside of your automation that's going to be in the system. So you can certainly start to even build traffic to your website. Feel free to even share this on social media if you'd like to in the future. We're going to have some materials on that for you. There's a lot of different ways that you can integrate this into your marketing, and we hope that you really, really love this program. It's been very, very successful, just to kind of bring everything full circle for a lot of other companies, especially some others who have been onboarded for a year or two. So we're really excited to bring this to you guys as well. And we hope you are equally as successful as some of the other BHHS companies as well. Can you add this to our websites? Yes, we can. So just send over a quick email to websupport@rwtowne.com. Our team knew this was coming, and they are standing by to help add this to your navigation menus. It's a quick little fix for us, and we'll be happy to do that for you. Yes. So any other questions? This is a big program. There's lots to go over, which is why we broke it apart into 2 different pieces. But hopefully you guys can see the value in this. Any questions before we let Katie go for the day? You can feel free to unmute or you can throw it into chat.
All right. Well, the good news is, again, on the 24th, same time, it's going to be more of that workshop type feeling. So if you want to bring your vendors, your sphere of influence, if you want to bring ideas on where you can post it, it's going to be more interactive on that front so that we can help you use this. So anything you can think about it of, how do I add it to this part of my business? Bring it there because we're going to definitely help you on that front.
All right. I don't see any additional questions so far. I think we are going to wrap up for the day and take a look for that button probably in another 10 minutes or so. And then you guys can get started on LiveEasy. We're very excited.
Fabulous. Well, thank you all for spending the morning with me. If you guys need anything at all, don't hesitate to reach out. Otherwise, I hope to see some of you on Thursday and then some of you on June 24th. Take care and happy selling, my friends. Talk to
Thank
y'all
you so
soon.
much.
Thanks. Bye.